Greetings children. This year's, that is 2021-22 CBSE Class 12 examination, especially your board examination, you can expect around 4 to 5 questions belonging to the category of assertion and reason. So, the first board examination that is going to conduct in November-December, you can expect a minimum 4 assertion and reason questions. Let us check what is assertion and reason, especially for English examination 301 code. Let us check what is this assertion and reason. It is nothing but, don't be afraid of the words assertion and reason. Simply take it as 2 statements. First one is a claim and another one may be a reason for that claim. So consider it only as 2 statements, and you have to find out the relationship between these 2 statements. First the assertion statement or the claim statement, and the second one is the reason for that claim. If there is a connection between these 2, you have to choose the right option given under there. And the options are, for assertion and reasons, you can expect 5 types of scenario, 5 types of directions you will get. What are those directions? First, let us check that directions for assertion reason questions. Look at these directions, questions 1 to 20. Here we are going to take 20 questions from your first lesson from the textbook Flamingo. In each of these questions given below, there are 2 statements marked as assertion. Assertion is denoted as A and reason denoted as R. Mark your answer as per the codes provided below. So you have to choose these codes for your answers. Here, all the assertion and the reason questions, the directions, the scenario are like this. Look at the first scenario. Both A and R are true, and R is the correct explanation of A. This is the first statement. If the given assertion is correct and the reason is also correct, and if the reason is an explanation of the assertion given there, the claim given there, then you can choose option 1. This is the first scenario. Look at the second scenario. Both assertion and reason are true, but reason is not the correct explanation of assertion. Reason is not the correct explanation of assertion. This is the second scenario that you have to choose. It simply says that both of the statements, the claim statement and the reason statements, are true, but the reason statement is not the correct explanation of assertion. If 2 statements are like this, you have to choose B. Look at the third one. A is true but R is false. As per the context or events of your textbook, the reason, the assertion given there may be true and the reason may be false. If the 2 statements are like this, you can choose third one. Okay? Then fourth scenario. A is false but R is true. Assertion is false but reason is true. You can expect questions like this also. The assertion sentence, the claim sentence is not related with your textbook or story or poem, but the reason is true. So you can choose the fourth one. Both A and R, assertion and reason, are false. Then you can choose fifth one, which means that any one of these should be avoided. 2 can be added there because our options are limited with the 4. Most probably the fifth one may not be there. So this is assertion and reason questions. This is the scenario you have to choose. Now let us check some questions from the last lesson. Assertion. We can start from simple one. Franz was late to school. Reason, he didn't know the rules of participles. 2 statements from your textbook, from your story. The first story, the last lesson. Franz was late to school. We all know that from the context of the lesson, Franz was late to school on the day. And the reason given here is he didn't know the rules of participles. That is true. He didn't know the rules of participles. But is this the reason why he was late to school? No. So, out of these 5 options, which one we can choose? That is the simple way to differentiate between assertion and reason. Look at the first one. Both assertion and reason are true. R is the correct explanation of A. Is this reason is the correct explanation of this assertion? No. His reason for late going to school was he started late from his home. Not because he didn't know the rules of participles. He didn't know the rules of participles, because of that he thought about bunking that class, run away from that day's class. But it was not the reason for his late going. So, first one is not the answer there. Let's check both A and R are true. Yes, here both the statements are true, but R is not the correct explanation of A. But reason is not the correct explanation of A. Yes, that is the correct option here. That is the right answer here. So you have to choose 2 as the right option. Got it? So this much simple is assertion and reason. Don't think that this is a very Himalayan task. Nothing is there. It is not a rocket science. You have to understand it. Let us move to the next question. Assertion. The ironsmith watcher called after Franz. And the reason, Franz was told he would get to school in plenty of time. The ironsmith watcher called after Franz. Is it true? Yes, it is true. The ironsmith watcher standing in front of the bulletin board called after Franz. It is a true statement. And the reason, Franz was told he would get to school in plenty of time. Yes, this was the dialogue he told Franz. He would get in school plenty of time. So both the statement and both the statements, assertion and the reason, are correct. And the reason is the right explanation of assertion. So we can write the first option. Both assertion and reason are true, and reason is the right explanation of assertion. So that is the answer. Let us move on to the next question. We are taking simple questions to understand the concept of assertion and reason. Look at the next one. The ironsmith watcher called after Franz. Same sentence, same statement. Franz. Then reason. Franz was told German was introduced in schools of Alsace. Look at these 2 statements. We have to think in terms of the context in the textbook. Ironsmith watcher called after Franz. It's a true statement. And Franz was told, he was told And Franz was told German was introduced in the schools of Alsace. Did anything like this happen there? No. So this is a false statement. So what scenario we can choose out of the 5? Look at the scenarios. Both A and R are in correct explanation of no. A is true, R is false. So 3 is the right option. A is true but R is false. Assertion is true but reason is false. So that is the right option. Come back to the questions. Another question. Franz was hesitant to enter the classroom. Reason: the solemn ambience made him so. Franz was hesitant. On the last day, he was hesitant. Really, he was hesitant to enter the classroom. The solemn ambience made him so. So what made him hesitant? It is the solemn ambience, the serious atmosphere in the classroom. When he comes there daily, he sees a lot of noise and commotion, and he doesn't feel any difficulty to enter the class. He will not be noticed by his master or other children. But on the day, the atmosphere, the ambience of the classroom was solemn, very serious. So A and statement, assertion and reason are true. So that is why. So the scenario we can choose is the first one. Assertion and reason are true, and reason is the correct explanation of assertion. Got it? Look at the next question. Assertion. Franz was hesitant to enter the classroom. Reason: the absence of usual commotion made him so. The absence of usual commotion made him so. Look at these two statements. Franz was hesitant to enter the classroom. That is a true statement. Assertion is true. And reason: the absence of usual commotion made him so. Yes, the absence of usual commotion, the noisy sound comes from the classroom. The absence of that commotion made him so. This is also true. And the right explanation of the assertion. So here also we can choose the first scenario, that is assertion is true and reason is also true, and reason is the right explanation of the assertion. Come to the next question. Franz was hesitant to enter the classroom. He didn't know the grammar lesson. But here the assertion we kept as the same, but look at the reason. He didn't know the grammar lesson. He didn't know the grammar lesson. That's why he hesitated to enter the classroom. Is this the reason? No. Actually, the atmosphere of the class was changed. He didn't mind whether he knew the grammar or not. But he didn't know the grammar. That statement is true. So, second scenario we can choose here. Assertion is right and reason is also right, but reason is not the correct explanation of assertion. That is the answer. Look at the next question. Monsieur Hamel was a different man in the last class and taught everything with utmost patience. Is this true statement? Yes, this statement is true. This assertion is true. This claim is true. Reason: the order from Berlin. The reason for this change of Monsieur Hamel is the order from Berlin. Is it true? Yes, true. So both the statements are true, and the second one is the explanation of the first. So we can choose the first scenario, the first direction. Look at the next question. Monsieur Hamel was different man in the last class and taught everything with the utmost patience. Reason: we changed the reason. A new German master was going to join in the next day. Is this the reason why Monsieur Hamel was patient and taught everything very accurately? No, this is not the reason. But both the statements are true. This statement is true and this statement is also true. A new German master was going to join the next day. But the reason is not the right explanation of the assertion. So we can choose second option from the scenario. Come to the next question. Moshe Hamel was a different man in the last class and taught everything with utmost patience. The same statement. Reason. Franz and other children understood things very well. Yes, Franz and other children understood things very well. Here, the statement is, the assertion is true, and the second statement, the reason is also true. And Franz and other children understood things very well. That is the right explanation for the assertion. Moshe Hamel was different in the last class, taught everything with the utmost patience. So both the statements are true and reason is the right explanation of the assertion. So we can choose the first scenario as the right option. Come to the next choice. Same situation. Moshe Hamel was a different man in the last class and taught everything with the utmost patience. Look at the reason. Old Hoser was crying throughout the class. Did it happen there? No. So first statement is true and the second statement is false. So which option we can choose? The third scenario. That is, A is right and R is false. Come to the next question. Franz and other children in the class were in a mixed emotion of laughter and cry. Reason. The backbenchers' performance. So the children in the classroom are in a mixed emotion of cry and laughter. This statement is true. And what is the reason for this assertion, this claim? Because the backbenchers' performance. Who are the backbenchers here? The village elders. Their recitation of the alphabets really make these children laugh and cry at the same time. So both the statements are correct and R is the right explanation of A. That is the right answer. So we can choose the scenario of 1. Look at the next one. Franz and other children in the class were in a mixed emotion of laughter and cry. Reason we have changed. Moshe Hamel choked with emotions. Is this the reason? Moshe Hamel was choked with emotions. Moshe Hamel choked with emotion. Is this the real explanation for the assertion? No. But both are true. So we can choose the second assertion. Got it? Look at the next verse. Franz felt sorry for his master. He forgot the cranky nature of him. Moshe Hamel choked with emotions. Here we kept the reason as it is from the previous question and changed the assertion. Franz felt sorry for his master. He forgot the cranky nature of him. Franz felt sorry for his master. He forgot the cranky nature of him. This statement is true. Moshe Hamel choked with emotions. That statement is also true. But the second statement is not the right explanation of the first one. So we can choose the second scenario. Second direction is the correct one. Go to the next question. Franz felt sorry for his master. He forgot the cranky nature of him. Same assertion we took. Moshe Hamel was leaving the school. Yes, Franz felt sorry for his master and forgot his cranky nature simply because he was leaving the school the next day. So both the statements are true and reason is the right explanation of assertion. So we can choose the first scenario. What is the first scenario? Both A and R are true and R is the right explanation of A. Come to the next question. Assertion. Moshe Hamel seemed so tall that he had never saw. Moshe Hamel seemed so tall that he had never saw. Moshe Hamel was leaving the school. Yes, first statement is true and the second statement is also true. But second is not the right explanation of the first one. So we can choose the second scenario, second direction as the right one. Look at the next question. Moshe Hamel seemed so tall that he had never saw. He stood on the chair. Is this the right explanation? No. So first one is true and the second one is false. So third will be the right option. A is true, B is or A is true and R is false. Look at the next one. Moshe Hamel wrote on the blackboard, "Long live France" in big letters. Is this true? Yes, true statement. Let us check the reason. He expressed his repressions. He expressed his repressions. Did he express his repression here? Did he express his repression here? So that statement is false. So A is right and R is false. So third will be the answer there. Let us check the next question. Moshe Hamel wrote on the blackboard, "Long live France" in big letters. He expressed his subjugation. Did he express his subjugation here? No. That is also not true. So only one statement is correct. A is correct and R is false. So third will be the option. Look at the next one. Moshe Hamel dismissed the class when the Prussians marched towards his garden. Reason: he was speechless with emotion. Is this the true assertion? True? No. It's a false assertion. The Prussian soldiers did not turn to the garden of Moshe Hamel. They marched along the road. They didn't turn up to Moshe Hamel. So that statement is false. And he was speechless with emotion. That is true. He was speechless with emotion. That is true. So only A is false and R is true. So we can choose the fourth option from the scenario. Fourth is the right option. So you can expect more such MCQ based questions from the channel. For that you have to subscribe the channel and press the bell icon. Thank you for watching till the end. Don't forget to share this video with your friends. Let them learn.